Greetings everyone. I want to play you a few clips. The first one is from a TV show called Room 101. Viewers from the UK may be familiar with it. If you are from outside the UK, it's basically a show where celebrities are invited on, and before they come on, they think of various things that really annoy them that they want to banish into Room 101, cast out forever. And when they're on the show, they need to convince the host to basically put their items into Room 101. So they talk about the various reasons why they don't like a particular thing, and then the host decides whether or not to cast it away. Now, the show has been hosted by various different people over the years, and in this particular clip, the host is comedian Frank Skinner, who is actually a Catholic, something I didn't know until fairly recently. Now, one of the people invited on is also a comedian named Frankie Boyle, who once again people in the UK may be familiar with. If you're outside of the UK, he's known for being quite a controversial comedian. Makes fun of a lot of things, including religion. But despite being an atheist, in this particular clip, he actually isn't having a go at people who believe in God or at any religion. He's having a go at atheists, or to be more precise, celebrity atheists.
Celebrity atheists. I am an atheist, but I don't like celebrity atheists. I was a very bad Catholic. Unless you include my attitude to condoms, in which case I was an amazing Catholic. But I don't like the judgmental nature of celebrity atheists. I think some religions have done good things. The Quakers fought against the Vietnam War. Liberation theology in Central America, those people all got killed standing up for poor people. And what's the reward? To be looked down on by Ricky Gervais. I don't need Ricky Gervais to tell me that God doesn't exist when I watch Derek get recommissioned twice. The whole thing's a bit religious. You know, so it's the idea of certainty to me is very religious. The idea of judgment is very religious. And it's blaming God, it's blaming religion. You know, they go, religion causes violence. Okay, some violence is caused by religion. Some violence is caused by lager. Some violence is caused by people cheating at pool. But at the moment when you go, I'm blaming that on God, that's like you don't get any mayonnaise in your chicken zinger and you blame it on Colonel Sanders.
So Frankie Boyle explains why he doesn't like celebrity atheists, why he wants to banish them into Room 101, and then Frank Skinner, who as I mentioned is a Catholic, gives this response.
This is a difficult one for me. I am a practicing Roman Catholic, so I'm sort of against celebrity atheists for other reasons than you. I mean, I don't mind anyone being an atheist. You know, that's sort of a little bit more elbow room in paradise.
It's a great response if anybody should ever ask you the question, are you bothered by atheists? Do you get annoyed by atheists? No, not at all. It just means more elbow room for me in heaven. You could say a similar thing if somebody asked you if you had a problem with gay men as a man. You could say absolutely not. It just means less competition. I'm much more likely to find a marriage partner if there are no other men in the world, because then I am the only option these women have. But that was Frank Skinner there on the show Room 101. Now I want to play you a couple more clips. These are from an interview that he did a while back. He was actually being interviewed at St. Paul's Cathedral in London, and during the interview he mentions a discussion he had with his friend and fellow comic David Baddiel. Audiences in the UK may well know them as Baddiel and Skinner. They were a comedy duo for a while, and I think they're still friends. David Baddiel, of Jewish heritage, is actually an atheist, and they were having a chat with each other, and David Baddiel kind of had a little dig at Frank Skinner and what he believes, and then Frank Skinner gave a very witty response. Here's him talking about that.
My friend David Baddiel said to me, doesn't it worry you that all the other people, most of the other people who share your belief are idiots? And I said, well, don't you get that when you're at Chelsea?
So a clever reply there. Not even any kind of response to try to justify his own beliefs, just a little dig back at his buddy David Baddiel. And in this second clip from that same interview, Frank Skinner talks about how he was having a discussion with a different friend one day, and this friend of his was basically trying to convince him to stop believing this religious nonsense. And once again, Frank Skinner gives a brilliant response.
A guy said to me, "You've got to get rid of this religious thing." He said it's a form of insanity. He said what you need some sort of creator, someone in control. You feel a need for that, so you've had to invent them. He said nobody made the universe happen. Nobody's controlling anything. There is no overseer. It just happened. The whole universe just randomly, accidentally happened, and that's it. We went back to his place for a cup of tea, and he went on and on about this, and he said, there's no plan, it just happened. Then he said, anyway, that tea won't make itself. I said, why not?
So there you go, Frank Skinner there with some witty responses to non-believers. I hope you enjoyed those. Thank you very much for watching the video. Have a blessed day.